Properly managing thousands of inventory items can be a daunting task, but Activant's Eagle for Windows inventory management software can make your most important inventory information just a click away. Your inventory information impacts many areas within your business. Description and pricing information is used to sell items at point of sale, and completed transactions update inventory quantity and history information. That quantity and history data is used to make purchasing decisions. And inventory quantity and purchase history information is updated when items are received. Finally, inventory totals are used to generate accounting financial reports. During this demonstration, we will look at the vast amount of information that is tracked for each item by the Activant Eagle for Windows software. This is the inventory maintenance window. From here, you can quickly and easily access literally hundreds of pieces of information about every item you stock. Just like all other Activant Eagles for Windows modules, this window uses a standard layout. At the top is the Windows menu bar, where you can customize this window and get help. Below that is the toolbar, filled with icons that let you take actions with the click of your mouse. The main body of the window is broken into two parts. The upper portion contains item identification information, while the lower portion is divided into 7 categories. We'll take a quick run through each of these areas in just a moment. This item identification area contains the many codes and the description used to identify each item. Let's look up and display a bag of utility wiping rags. I'll do a descriptive lookup by placing my cursor into the description field and typing a brief product description. By pressing Enter, I'm automatically presented with a list of items matching my description. I'll choose the one I want and click the Select icon on the toolbar. Information about this item is now displayed. If you know the SKU number, manufacturer number, or UPC number, you can also use those to directly look up an item. Or you can perform a more advanced search by clicking the Viewer icon on the toolbar. From here, I can click on the Lookup icon to see that I can search by department, class, fine line, item number, description, vendor, and manufacturer. Looking down below, you can see that we are viewing information found under the Stocking tab. This area includes quantity information, detailing our actual quantity on hand, any inventory that is currently committed to customers in the form of customer orders, as well as any amounts currently on order from our suppliers. In the stocking area, you can view key figures that help determine when and how many of this item need to be ordered. These include the order point, which can be automatically set by the system based on this item's sales history, our minimum or lowest order point level we want the system to use, as well as our standard packaging and order multiple information. In the purchasing area, you can set specific ordering parameters, such as the purchasing unit of measure. To the far right, you can view the date this item was added to your Activant Eagle system, the date the item was last sold, when you last received it, and the date when you performed the last physical inventory count. By clicking the Pricing tab, you can view all pricing-related information associated with this item. You will notice in the grid to the left that the software tracks a wide range of pricing and cost information. The grid is showing that our wiping rags are priced by the bag, stocked by the bag, and has no differing alternate unit of measure. If I do a quick lookup of a lumber item, however, you see that the software tracks this information across multiple units of measure. For this particular item, we're tracking our pricing information by the board foot, by each, and by the lineal foot. The software shows us replacement, manufacturer, average, and market cost, along with retail, list, and promotion pricing, as well as other custom selling prices. On the right is your desired gross profit, which can be used when automatically calculating new selling prices when your cost changes. I'll redisplay our wiping rags to show you the other powerful information that is kept in the other tabs. Let's click on the Codes tab to move to an area that really lets you fine-tune your inventory information to meet your specific needs. As you can see, there's a lot of information here that you can use to customize this item. For example, here you tell the software if this item is a special labor or freight item. You can also determine whether or not this item can be returned at point of sale. Down here, you can see that the system has determined that this item has a popularity code of B. By clicking the downward pointing arrow, you can see that as a group, B items generally make up 15% of sales. If the many codes on this window still do not meet your needs, you may use one or more of the user-defined codes. Here, you can set up your own codes and options to help you control your inventory. You can view sales history associated with this item by clicking the History tab. On the left are the unit sales for each of the past 13 months. In the center, you can view year-to-date totals, such as the number of transactions where this item has appeared, the total units sold, sales, cost, and profit totals, as well as promotional sales and cost totals if this item has been on sale. On the right, you may view these same totals for last year's sales. Clicking on the Notes tab takes us to an area where you can type in notes that can be used a number of different ways. You can enter notes for this item or a group of items that can appear on a customer's receipt, can display on the clerk's screen as the item is sold, or you can have the note only show here on this screen for use by inventory personnel. Information in the Vendor tab lets you track a host of information for an unlimited number of vendors. You can easily assign a new vendor to this item by clicking here and then completing the requested information. Doing this allows you to track cost and purchase history across a range of suppliers. Finally, let's click on the Load tab. This loading area is specifically designed to be an easy-to-use area for manually adding new items to your inventory file. All of the key fields are right here in one place. In addition to the core item information we just looked at, there is a great deal of other ancillary information relating to your inventory records. To show you what I mean, I'll move to the toolbar and click on the Go To icon. From here, you gain instant access to the ancillary information. We won't have time to go through each of these, but I'll show you a few. For example, if you want to see if this item is on any purchase orders, you can click on button number 2 to view purchase orders. Here, you can see that this item is currently on one purchase order. From here, you can drill down and see a list of all items on this purchase order by simply clicking the drill icon. You can see that this purchase order has 3 items on it. I'll close this window. If you want to see sales history across multiple stores, you can select the Item Sales History option. Here, you see the history for this item in Store 1 and Store 2, as well as the total for both stores combined. If you scroll down this list, you'll find that you can view a host of key financial data broken out by store. If you want to see a list of all invoices and other stored documents that contain this item, you can see those by clicking the Quick Recall option. If you want to see more detail about a particular invoice, you can click the one you want to see and then click the display icon. Here, you see a list of all items on this invoice, and sure enough, you can see our item listed as the second one that was rung up on this transaction. You can view and set up merchandise departments by selecting this option. From here, you can view detailed history for this or any other department, or if needed, you can add a new department right from this window. Customized quantity break schedules may be set up by clicking the Quantity Break option. Each row here represents an individual quantity break schedule that can be attached to a single item or a group of items. For example, items associated with quantity break code number 2 will be discounted by 5% when a customer purchases a quantity of 3. If they purchase 6, they will receive a 10% discount. If they purchase 10, they will get 15% off. And finally, if they purchase 20, they will receive a 20% discount. Code number 3, found on the next line, is a family quantity break. You can tell this by clicking on the type as you see here. A family quantity break means that all items with this code will count toward the quantity break as long as they are entered onto a single transaction. This works well with paint, for example, where a customer may purchase 10 gallons of flat paint and 2 gallons of semi-gloss. Their total quantity of 12 would, in this case, qualify for a 10% discount if both items had their quantity break code set to 3. Finally, we'll take a quick look at the price rounding window. When letting your Active and Eagle system automatically calculate new prices based on a cost changed and a desired gross profit percent, you can also have the software utilize this price rounding schedule. In this case, a very simple schedule has been set up. Items, for example, that are calculated to sell for under $1 will round up to 9, 19, 29 cents, and so on. For example, if the system calculated that an item should sell for 46 cents, this price rounding schedule would automatically bump that selling price up to 49 cents. Again, all of the powerful options we just looked at can be accessed by simply clicking the Go To icon on the main toolbar. Let's quickly review the benefits of this software. Active and Eagle for Windows tracks hundreds of pieces of information for each item, but the core information is organized into 7 logical areas, making it easy to find. The Loading tab is set up specifically for adding new items, letting you accomplish this task without having to use multiple screens or functions. The Go To feature on the toolbar gives you instant access to powerful features such as purchase order detail, archived point-of-sale documents, and your price rounding table. Multi-store sales history and key ratio comparisons can be viewed side by side for each store location. Finally, all of this functionality is made fast and easy to use because everything is just a click away using the Microsoft Windows interface. Thank you for watching this brief demonstration.